So what did I think of while I was doing that script review? Well, if we have a quick look, as I go towards our object, we have the notification on the GUI to press the E. And if we check on the right, there's a player script highlighted. My inventory is a null. If I press E, we picked up the key has disappeared, but we still have that GUI message. Press E. Okay, there's nothing there to collect. And there's another thing too. We press E when there's no item in the trigger volume, we get this error. So there's two things that I want to fix up. So on the player script, so we're checking, if we're down, we're checking in the trigger zone. Okay, before we pick up the item, we want to make sure there's an item there to pick up. Okay, so before any of this happens, we need to check if my trigger script trigger item is not a null. Okay, so remember that is exactly the same as writing that. Okay, and let's just put a debug in just to show what I'm doing there. Else debug log there is no item here. Okay, so let's just check to see if we fix up that error first of all. Just null reference. We're trying to access an object that doesn't exist. It's a null. So I hit play, go up to the key, in the volume, I hit E, we've collected the item. Now if I hit E again, there is no item here. See the debug? There is no item here. So that conditional check is working. So we're not going to break it if we don't have a trigger item. That means we've already picked it up, or just that trigger doesn't have one. Okay, so that is the fix there for that. Now for the on GUI, the same situation. If we already have the trigger item, then we don't want to be telling the player to press E. So we're going to have to put a check in here as well. If now if we fall into this part, we're already in the trigger zone. So if we're in the trigger zone, we already have a reference to the trigger script. So we can just read off there, that won't break. So if, and the same thing, if trigger script has a trigger item, so that's the same as saying, if the trigger script trigger item is not equal to null. Null. Okay? So we're checking if there is an item to pick up. So if there's an item to pick up, then we'll notify the player to press E. Now let's see that final fix. Okay, stop, clear, refresh, restart. Okay, so we head towards the key, pick up the key, we've collected an item, and as you can see, there's no GUI message there to say pick up. There's no item to pick up there anymore. And if I press E again, there is no item here. And nothing's breaking, it's all working. If I check the player inventory, we have the green key. So all is sweet.